Hey everyone, this is Daniel,
And I'm Jun,
and we are
Korean.
American. No hesitation that time. My brain is back.
Oh, what was the thing about the last time intro? Like, this is
It's
Daniel
Daniel,
or
I'm
it's Daniel?
Daniel. Yeah.
What was it this time?
Hey everyone, this is Daniel,
Oh, it's this is Daniel.
and I'm June. Yeah,
Mm.
anyway.
Morning.
How was your weekend, June?
I went on a very short trip to Taiwan.
Guess so, Jinji.
Yes. Yeah, actually didn't. It was like fourth or fifth time to Taiwan,
Okay, okay,
actually.
okay.
It was like a very spontaneous trip.
Mm-hmm.
2 days and 3 days and 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time it was like the weather was horrible. It was like drizzling, and
Mm-hmm.
then it was like the worst part is it was like the weather in Korea was perfect
Yeah.
while we're there.
I was gonna say, it was so nice the
Yeah,
last few days. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Anyways, the weather was horrible, so
Mm.
I did like a half forced hokkangsu,
Okay.
which is kind
Oh,
of nice.
forest tokans. Oh,
It's like
fun.
there's nothing to do outside almost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like I don't want to go to the shopping malls because it looks the same as
Oh,
the
you're
ones in
saying because
Korea.
it was raining, you basically stayed in the hotel a lot more than you would have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the friends that I went with are not really interested in going to like museums or like
Uh,
stuff like that I would usually do.
mm-hmm.
So I just stayed in the hotel, which like is a very good occasion to be forced to do that
Oh,
because I
yeah,
almost
yeah.
never do that.
That's true.
I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
I like forced myself to go into the pool, but it was like raining and it was like cold. So like,
Oh, it's outdoor pool.
yeah. So it was like,
Oh, yeah,
it was just like the three of us.
yeah, yeah. No one else is gonna go to the pool.
And like the guy who was supposed to be supervising the pool was
Yeah.
like, "What's going on? Like, what are these people swimming when it's raining?" And then
Yeah.
I went to like the spa, which I never
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I never, rarely go to hotels if I travel. I
Mm.
usually just go to like Airbnbs or more
Yeah,
budget
yeah.
accommodations. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's like a cultural difference. Some people like to go to hotels.
Mm-hmm.
So I like didn't know a lot of things that people usually do at hotels.
Okay.
I was like, oh, it's gonna rain because like we were
Yeah.
gonna like go eat something outside.
Uh-huh.
So and didn't bring my umbrella. So like I was like, what are I gonna do? Maybe I
Yeah.
should buy someone
Mm.
something at the convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like you know what to do at the
Yeah.
hotels.
They'll give you an
But yeah, I was like, oh, this is
umbrella.
amazing. And then like there's a spa.
Yeah.
The thing about spas is that this it's another like 촌스러워 moment for me.
Okay.
So I rarely go to hotel spas either.
Yeah.
And when they said spa, I was imagining something that would not be like a public bathroom,
Uh-huh.
more like a massage treatment
Yeah,
place
yeah.
in my mind. Because like,
I think that's accurate.
is it?
Yeah. But it was more like a chimchilbang, right?
It was more like a 목욕탕
Yeah, yeah,
찜질방.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, for some reason, yeah.
I think that's an Asia thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, if you think spa in the US, it's
Mm-hmm.
like spa treatment. You get massages, facials,
Yeah.
things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But spa in Asia, I think generally means kind of like a chimchilbang, 목욕탕 type place.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw one very interesting cultural thing.
What was that?
So the spa, so the way in which the spa works is that you go to the gym
Mm-hmm.
and ask for a spa key, and so they're right next to each other. It's almost as if like you go to the gym and then you do a spa,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone at the gym are white people.
Working out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And then everyone at the spa
Yeah.
are Asian people.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's funny. Yeah. Not surprising.
Not single one Asian people at the gym, and then not single one white person
Yeah.
at the spa.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was interesting.
I don't know why it is. Americans, I think, are just obsessed with health, and in Korea, you'd call it a
헬창.
healthjang.
Oh,
Healthjang, yeah, yeah. Health fitness center, whatever.
there's a word for that. That word there's a word for that kind of person.
Oh, who's obsessed with working
Yeah,
out?
it's like a meme.
Oh, yeah. What did you say?
헬창.
Healthjang.
It's not a good word, so I'm not gonna dissect it. But
Okay, okay. But then also, I think even more so, the idea of public baths or public nudity or whatever for Americans is
Yeah.
very also uncomfortable and
Yeah,
awkward.
yeah.
So it's like a double whammy.
yeah. So all the people who are at the spa didn't even have to sweat, but going to the spa.
Yeah, yeah.
And then all the people who are at the gym are sweating, but they're just going back to the rooms to shower.
No, June though, the health benefits of spas or saunas in general,
Yeah.
very well documented. It's very good for your health.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
almost as good as exercise.
Really? Okay, so both of them were having exercises.
Well, my ideal would be to do both. Yeah,
Mm,
work out, get sweaty, and then
that's what I did.
decompress in the sauna.
Yeah. I was like
Oh, so you were the
representing Asia.
exception. You were the exception.
Yeah, I went to the
Oh,
gym because
June.
there's like no other thing to do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You were perfectly bicultural.
Yes. But I felt so 촌스러워.
Why?
Because I don't know all these like hotel cultures.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Whereas I
Interesting.
felt like everyone else did.
That's so interesting. Because you must travel. To be fair, most of my exposure to hotels and any
Mm-hmm.
like expensive traveling, right? Upgraded tickets on flights or whatever, it's
Mm-hmm.
always through work.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
is that not a big culture for Korean companies to have
Mm-hmm.
to travel for work and you
Mm.
get a nice flight, you get a nice hotel,
Yeah,
you get a meal stipend?
yeah. Even though I went to hotels when
Yeah.
I was traveling, I didn't have the luxury of no one accommodate no one goes to like a five-star hotel for work.
I
At
see.
least for my work, my
Mm-hmm.
past work. And then even if I do, there's no time to enjoy
Oh.
all the amenities
Because you want to explore the city or you're there for work and so
because
they
I'm
work
there
you?
for work. Yeah, and they're overworking me.
That's a different culture, I think.
I hate
Yeah.
business travels for that
Oh,
reason
interesting.
because it makes you feel more miserable because you're at like some other city.
This just came up yesterday in like casual conversation with
Hmm.
my more Korean friends.
Yeah,
They were like, yeah, when I travel for work, they just work you like crazy.
yeah.
Every minute of your schedule is packed.
Exactly.
That's so different from American travel
Oh my
culture.
God. And then, so, okay, the last time
Yeah.
I went on a business trip was with my like fairly new company.
Uh-huh.
And they're part of like a bigger, like traditional conglomerate, right?
Yeah.
Which was like kind of like my first time.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a also very different culture.
Yeah.
As they land together, they went on a golf rounding.
Wait, that's not a different culture. That's classic Korean
That's
culture.
classic.
Yeah.
I've never been to because I've mostly been into like more techie tech
Yeah, yeah,
companies,
yeah.
so they don't do
Less
that.
old school
So
conglomerates.
they went on a golf
Yeah.
rounding as they landed. And I was like,
First thing off the plane, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, this guy was like, I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah.
I don't even golf.
Ah.
I told them like, so they were insisting me to go,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
even though I didn't have
Yeah.
prior experience. There was like, I would teach you,
Mm-hmm.
come.
Team building.
And I was like, no, no, no. I have my personal stuff, and which they allowed me to do.
Yeah.
But then like they saw me as like this very weird
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, you were socially ostracized after
Yeah.
that.
And then there were so many like scandalous rumors about what I did
Instead
when
of golfing
yeah,
with
like
the team.
they were like June had like a personal thing to do.
Wow.
And me, I was like going to Trader Joe's,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
walking
yeah.
around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like business trip in Korea.
Oh,
I guess.
June, there's so much we could talk about. Because there's a contradiction, right? That they keep you so busy, work you to the bone because you're traveling on the company dollar, all that, right?
Yeah.
And then they go on a rounding trip, which is in itself expensive,
Yeah.
and also clearly not for work,
Yeah.
right? Versus like in America, they will give you the first thing I ask a coworker if they get back from a business trip.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, did you get to explore the city?
Yeah.
Where did you eat?
Yeah.
Right? Not about my expectation is that they did their work, whatever, put in their hours,
Uh-huh.
and then they had their own time.
Yeah.
Stay the weekend. Enjoy your evening, right?
Yeah.
Explore the city.
Yeah. Can I tell you one funny thing? So we went on a business trip together that one time, right?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
And it was to San
Yeah.
Francisco.
Oh, were you confused? Oh, sorry, yeah.
Why?
Because you're like, oh, why are we not working that much?
Oh no, not that part. But like we had to choose a hotel.
Yeah.
And I don't know very much about like where the office was and like what's the convenient place to stay.
Yeah.
And then you chose a hotel which was like right next to the airport,
Uh-huh.
which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because everyone else was like choosing their hotels in the city.
Uh,
But I thought like you know best because like you were in the company for like ever.
Okay.
So probably I should just follow what Daniel does, right?
No, yeah.
And then it was like, yeah, one of my I don't know if I told you this,
Yeah.
but one of my other my design lead, it was like, that's a total dad move.
Oh, dad move?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
staying at a hotel next
Yeah,
to
yeah.
airport, which was, to be fair, it was very convenient.
Convenient. I was optimizing for convenience
Yeah.
as well as it was very centrally located.
Yeah,
there were 3 different places, and this was in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's not optimizing for, I'm not going out at night,
Yeah.
exploring the night.
I know.
It's also my hometown.
So it was very like biased to a certain lifestyle, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
And now that I get to know you better, it's like classic something that you would do.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, also, there's a longer story there. Because last time you said you stayed in the city, right?
That's true.
In a nice place.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not a fan of San Francisco proper.
I get it.
I don't want to stay there. It's okay, but whatever. Yeah.
But if I would have gone again today, I would have chose something in the city.
Oh, you would have.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it wasn't a big deal. It was
I'm
just
biased
like
against
fun.
it.
Yeah.
No, there's nicer hotels I like to stay at that's more in like the peninsula south of the airport. But again, knowing that we would have to go to both the city, both Western Bay and also South Bay, it's just like very centrally located.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry. Too much of a digression.
Yeah.
Should we even talk about my weekend? Yeah. I should at least mention it.
Yeah.
June, on Saturday, I went to 2 weddings.
Yeah.
This might never happen again in my life.
Your weekend was packed.
Was
it
busy.
on one day?
One day.
Oh, it was on one day.
I went to a lunch wedding, hotel,
Whoa.
course meal.
Professional wedding attendant.
And then I went to a Saturday evening wedding at a wedding hall, bank buffet. Typical classic. Both were, I think, pretty classic Korean weddings. But yeah, they were.
They were both in Pundang?
They were both in Putnam.
Oh,
yeah.
That's very convenient.
Yeah, very convenient.
I think that's the only reason that you
could have
right?
agreed to do both.
Yeah.
I don't, my mentality is still, since being invited to a wedding is like a big honor almost. And so I feel obligated, if I can make it, I should. I think that might be different. Like if it's not a close connection, Koreans might be like, oh, if I don't have to go, I don't want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think I still feel like I carry that, it's like such a big honor. But it was fun though. I still thoroughly enjoy weddings. Yeah, it's always a fun occasion.
Actually, if it was last weekend, it would have been a perfect day for an outdoor wedding.
Yeah.
But both were indoors, right?
Do outdoor weddings exist in Korea?
They do.
Oh.
Actually, I see them a lot.
Oh, really? Okay.
But there's always this risk for
the weather.
Yeah. Even if it's not raining, then there's like the dust issue.
True.
Yeah. But
yeah, both weddings were really fun. And then, I think I remember one of our very first episodes was on weddings. I have to say, now that I've been to a handful, I have to walk back my statement from that one, which I remember saying, like, if I never attend another Korean wedding, it's okay. While they're still very, very different from American weddings, American style weddings.
Yeah.
I will say I can now understand and maybe even appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I mean, you know exactly what to expect.
Yes.
It's not a big time commitment.
Yeah.
You just know what you're there for. I think for me, in contrast to American weddings, that's where I was coming from.
Yes.
Oh, it feels so meaningless, so rushed, right? The guests don't even interact. There's no dancing, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think just knowing what it is and the purpose of it in Korea, I can understand and appreciate it for what it is. Yeah.
Is it?
I think this is truly like, comparison is the thief of joy. Like if you're comparing the two, okay, like I prefer the Western style wedding. But if you just look at it again for what it is, yeah, it's still nice. Yeah.
For me, if you had to symbolize one moment of a Korean wedding, that would be the cake cutting for me.
Oh, the Korean.
I don't know if I mentioned this in our previous episode.
I don't.
But it was such a letdown for me.
Oh, you don't eat the cake they cut.
Not only that, but the cake only exists on the part where they cut it. Do you know what I mean? The rest of it is fake.
It's all for show, you're saying.
Yeah, it's very convenient. It's all for show.
Yeah.
There's no waste.
Yeah.
But that's like what the wedding is kind of.
Interesting.
I was so let down when I knew that. Are American wedding cakes like that? No, right? The whole thing is a cake.
Yeah, you
and then you share it with
cut
people.
And share, and you even save some of it for your first anniversary. Yeah.
It's all like technicalities almost, which is like good in a sense because there's no waste.
Yeah.
You can even make it more fancier than you have to invest in it.
It serves its purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is for the show, for the pictures.
That's like the symbol of Korean weddings.
I witnessed my first, at least in my recollection, maybe I missed it before, but the first kind of bouquet toss in Korea, right? Where the receiver is predetermined. They're standing right next to the bride.
Yeah.
You don't toss it over your head. You like toss it to someone.
Yeah.
That predetermined receiver of the bouquet.
I saw people doing it, the toss over thing.
But it's not to a group. It's to someone.
It's to
predetermined.
someone.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone knows who's going to receive it.
Yeah.
It's like an honor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So again, that felt again very staged. In my mind, very artificial.
Yeah.
But also, again, it serves its purpose, what it's supposed to be in Korea, which is a nice moment between the bride and maybe a close friend or sister or something, right?
Yeah.
So, and it does make for fun photos. Like, it's all staged, right?
Yeah.
So,
oh, in that sense, like the very organized, efficient culture of Korean weddings.
yeah.
The thing that I really appreciate and I like is the flower culture. Do you know that they take away the flowers?
Yes.
That,
Yeah.
And there's that one person who would wrap it for you.
Yeah.
And everyone has like this little like mini bouquet on their
bring
hands. I
home
think
with
that's
them.
very endearing.
Yeah.
And very efficient. No waste and like bringing back some good memories.
I am curious how much the flower costs are in Korea.
It's insane.
It's insane?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's the same in the US.
Yeah.
It can be one of the highest parts. Like, basically, that's where you can go big or do minimal.
Exactly.
And it can affect the price like crazy.
Yeah. Because like you can also opt for fake flowers too, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So if you go to a wedding and you see like everything's real, even the ones on the aisle are real, then you know that it's expensive.
All right. Yesterday, Sunday, I had a friend visiting from the US. And so hadn't seen him in maybe a decade, 2 decades. So it was really good to catch up. And then, that's about it. We also, my wife and I's birthday was this past week.
Yeah.
And we were born 5 days apart. And so we had a small little celebration too.
Do you have
with a friend?
Do you have one of your kids that their birthdays somehow coincide
with ours?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, so it's not like a 3-person group thing.
Actually, 2 of our kids are born 8 days apart. Not literally days, right? Different years, but their birth dates are 8 days apart. So that is a little sad, right? Because it's like we don't want to throw them a joint thing, but then it's like they're so close to each other. Anyway,
Interesting that you say it's sad.
It is sad.
Because I would think like,
it's nice.
Nice, yeah.
The collective birthday versus the individualistic.
No, it's just for efficiency.
Oh, I get it. Yeah,
we can only do it just like.
It's sad for me because I feel like it does take away from each's individualistic, like all on me celebration. It's always shared with the other sister.
But if you think about it, you have 4 kids, and they all pass down their clothes, right? In that sense, isn't it the same? For efficiency matter, you don't have your individualistic.
I still do feel bad for the younger kids who get more hand-me-downs compared to new clothes for them. Yeah,
I resonate with that as a 둘째.
Yeah,
so I never had like my own clothes until like I was a grown-up.
Totally. Okay, Jun. This long intro.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We got lunch with one of our listeners who was in the area. And, they came from Seattle. I want to quiz you before we reveal some of the goodies they brought.
Wait, quiz me or the audience?
Quiz you.
Oh, really?
What do you know about Seattle? Like, what's Seattle's reputation for Koreans?
For Koreans, I might have a slightly different reputation compared to your normal Korean because I've been there like 2 or 3 times. So where should
2 or 3 times? That's how many times I've been there.
Really? To me, it's very rainy.
Yeah.
And then the vegetation is amazing because it's rainy.
Very lush and green.
Very lush and green.
Its nickname is the Emerald City.
Oh, for that reason. Oh, what a pretty name. I didn't know.
I believe.
And then like the needle.
Space Needle.
Which was represented in like Men in Black. You didn't know that?
I mean, I've seen Men in Black. I don't recall.
You might not. But in like the first or second episode, like the plot, like the big reveal was that the Space Needle was actually a UFO.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't remember that, but that makes sense. Yeah.
What else? Like
Space Needle, rainy.
Yeah.
Lush.
And because of
vegetation.
my profession, I recognize like Amazon.
Yeah. Very tech heavy. Microsoft, Amazon.
Microsoft, close to Canada.
Yes, yeah. Okay, pretty good. I got engaged and I proposed to my wife in Seattle.
Yes, yeah.
So it holds a special place in my heart, right by Pike Place. I think I would associate it with salmon. I don't know why. Pacific Northwest salmon. And then, yeah, exploring, weather-wise, it's raining, like light drizzle 75% of the time. To the point where there's actually a thing called, I think, seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah.
Where it's like seasonal depression.
Yeah.
Because it's
That's
so
what I heard
overcast and gray, lack of sun, vitamin D, and you just get depressed. Yeah. I think it's also known to be like a music hub in a sense, like grunge music or that style in the 90s. I think there are a lot of famous bands from that era.
Makes sense if it's like
The
very
rain,
gloomy.
very angry.
Oh, grunge music.
What else? I don't know. For some reason, it's like clam chowder, maybe. I don't know if that's true.
Wait, clam chowder is Bostonian.
Boston
I know that
and
they
San
have in
Francisco.
Seattle.
Yeah, sourdough bread bowl clam chowder
Yeah.
is what makes it San Francisco. But for some reason, I also associate it with there. I think just seafood in general.
Yeah.
From the Pacific Northwest. So, yeah. And I do want to... It's very close to the Canada border and Vancouver overall.
Yeah.
So I know friends who spent time, either went to college there or, they just developed a lot of friendships and also frequented Vancouver a lot. So I think it's a nice, safe entry point for Canadians wanting to explore America. It's like, it's just 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Major city, kind of progressive. Let's live there and land there. So it's a nice entry point for Canadians immigrating to the U.S. And I think it's a nice place where maybe some of the Canada and American cultures blend a lot. Yeah.
Wait, Seattle's Washington, and they're bordered to Oregon, right? Okay.
Yeah. Also, Seattle and Portland are also very close to each other, very drivable. I want to say 2 hours, but I'm not sure.
Yes. I had once I had a trip where I went to Seattle and then drove to Portland.
Yeah.
I love Portland.
Let's see if there's anything else I missed. Oh!
Starbucks.
Yeah. I was gonna... The original Starbucks.
Yeah.
1971 at Pike Place.
That's why their most famous coffee bean blend is called the Pike Place.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, the typical Starbucks flavor. Where I can already see your face.
I don't know.
Saying, I can't tell the difference. That's called Pike Place. Yeah.
All right. Well, to just celebrate our visitor from Seattle, they brought us some salmon jerky. I didn't know this. Macadamia and roca. So apparently this roca snack is also very Seattle thing, as well as...
And then I was mentioning to
Alaskan smoked sea
person
salt
that
chocolate.
This hibiscus is actually a mugunghwa, which is actually Korea's national flower. Wait, do you guys have a national flower? Is this like an Asian thing?
No. Okay, so I know every state has a flower, has a state bird. Like, we have all these things.
But what about a national level?
That I don't know.
I know that your national official animal is
American
the
bald eagle. Yeah.
But they recently officialized that.
Oh, really?
It was never official.
Official.
Yeah.
Unofficial mascot
Very recently.
of America.
Yeah.
Dude, the bald eagle's badass. They're so cool.
Yeah. But it does very fit the American persona, I think.
Of course, yeah. Apex predator, like just bald eagles are awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I would love to know that. I know that you have a national anthem. And then that now you have a national animal, flowers.
Let me look. Oh. Oh, okay. According to ChatGPT again, as of 1986, the national flower of the United States is the rose.
So basic.
I know White House famously has like a White House rose garden.
Oh, they do. Actually.
I didn't know. So this was signed.
It's not even like a type of rose. It's just rose.
The rose. I mean, are there different types of roses?
I mean, I think you can be more specific, right? Like something rose, or like maybe at least like the white rose, or I don't know.
Oh, like a color.
Or color,
okay.
Because the animal is not just an eagle. It's like the very
bald eagle.
Yeah, it's the type.
Apparently, the other flowers that were considered was the sunflower and the columbine. I didn't even realize columbine was a flower. And again, maybe ChatGPT is hallucinating. But yeah, okay. Today I learned as well.
For Korea, it's the hibiscus.
Okay.
Yeah.
One quick story from that visitor. It was raining in Korea.
Yeah.
They had on a rain jacket. And they were holding their umbrella.
Yeah.
Did you notice?
They were the only one, and I told them
that
it's you can tell you're a couple from a mile away because you're doing this.
You're literally holding the umbrella in the rain with your rain jacket on.
Yeah.
And then they countered with, you're not from Seattle if you have an umbrella, A, and if you're using it in such a light drizzle as we were in.
Yeah. It wasn't, to be fair, it wasn't light in a Korean standard.
Okay, in my mind, it was not light. No, it wasn't light. Right. It was moderate. It wasn't heavy. It was not. It was not. Yeah, light.
But it was so nice to. Yeah, it's always nice to meet.
Always nice
the
to meet
listeners.
guests, or meet listeners, and have podcast-like conversations in real life.
Yeah.
Okay, as a transition point, Jun, any colleges that you know of in Seattle?
In Seattle, there must be a. Wait, is WashU in Seattle? University of Washington?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Which one is in Washington?
Very funny. It's University of Washington. Their mascot is the Huskies, I believe.
UW.
UW, exactly. Yeah. They go by UW. And funny you mentioned, I was going to bring that up too. Not to be confused with Washington University in St. Louis.
That one's in St. Louis?
Known as WashU.
Oh, I thought they were both in Washington.
Most people would.
Yeah. Okay. I thought they were like rivalries.
No.
Oh, okay. This is new to me.
I don't know the origins of the WashU in St. Louis. But also Washington in general. It's funny because I was, born and raised in the East Coast, in the DC Metro. Washington to me is always associated with DC. But on the West Coast, funny enough, it's associated sometimes with University of Washington in Seattle. So
it's kind of like Gwangju.
Yeah.
Do you know there's a Gwangju near here in Bundang?
Gwangju, right?
Gwangju.
Yeah.
And then there's like a Gwangju Gwangyok시, the big city in Jeollado.
So anyone from Southern Korea would associate with that.
Yeah, everyone here, like, they say Gwangju as if it's like that's the only Gwangju, but you always have to preface it as like 경기도 Gwangju. Yeah, or like Gwangju Gwangyok시. But yeah, it's kind of like that. But I didn't even know why is it in St. Louis?
I mean, Washington itself is just a very famous, he's the first president of the United States.
Oh, St. Louis is near DC?
No, St. Louis is in
so it's just
Missouri.
It's kind of like Lincoln Park,
yes,
right?
Yes. There could be Lincolns anywhere.
I see. Wow. Ooh,
I mean, like Washington State versus Washington D.C. Like, I get it, right?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, because I have friends both from
WashU and
UW.
University of UW. They could not be further apart in a sense, yeah.
And they're both very good schools.
Very good schools, yeah. So, Jun, in our previous episode when we talked about roommates, we started going down this rabbit hole of college roommates, college life, and then we had to stop ourselves because we were like, this would take a whole 2-hour episode in and of itself.
Yeah.
So we decided today we were going to do a 2-part series on college. So today we wanted to talk about more of the social fun aspects of college and wax nostalgia, if you will. And then in a future episode, possibly the immediate next episode, we plan to talk about the more, let's say, academic side of college.
Yeah.
The implications of college in society and culture and all that.
Yeah.
So let's do it today
and
really try to keep focus on the just more of the fun social stuff.
Yeah, so today we're gonna walk the memory lane. And to be clear, the good thing is that we went to college pretty similar.
And 1 year apart.
Yeah, but I also want to preface it by saying it might be very different from the more recent college experiences. Yeah.
I graduated college 20 years ago, Jun.
Yeah. So it's the mid-2000s.
Mid-2000s.
College life episode. Yeah.
Or just our personal life in college. So I don't know how you want to do this, but maybe, I don't know, 18-year-old Jun. I don't know how college admittance looks like. Do you get letters in the mail telling you? Like, how did you find out you were accepted to college? So in the U.S. then, I'll say.
Yeah.
Again, when I was, for me, some colleges were starting to do email acceptance letters, but mostly it was still through the old paper mail. now I can see like through the reaction videos on YouTube or whatever, it's all digital.
Yeah.
They just like log in. It's like
Yeah.
anticipatory or whatever.
Yeah.
But for us, it was the anticipation was in the mailbox.
Yeah.
And you knew that if you got a thin, small envelope,
Yeah.
it was generally a rejection letter.
Oh.
And if you got the big fat one, you
Yeah.
knew it was an acceptance
Because it has
letter.
like the booklets
Yes,
and
yes,
everything.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So that was the big thing. And it's
Oh.
like, oh, you know, we got a mail today from your college, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, was it a big envelope or a small envelope? And then, you know, you kind of knew from there. So,
Oh. Speaking of email, like I saw this meme. It's not even a meme, but like a viral video
yeah.
circulating on the internet on Mark Zuckerberg's first college acceptance reaction, because apparently his
Oh, he
father
filmed it?
filmed it.
Oh, okay.
And it's like the most unemotional reaction from him,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
like
yeah.
checking his email,
Yeah.
and his dad is like, "Did you get accepted?" He said, "Did you get accepted?" And he's like,
Of course.
click, 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 and he was like, "Yay,
Yeah. Yeah. Back to work.
you got accepted."
Yeah, so that's college acceptance. I think, again, I don't want to go too deep into it now, but I would say that is a very, very stressful time for people in the US. Basically, you've sent out your applications, and there's two rounds. One kind of before Christmas, New Year's, where you apply for maybe one college early acceptance. It's like you apply for your top choice. There's some math here too. It's like you multiply likelihood of getting in because it's easier overall to get in
Yeah.
to that application, combined with like how much you want to go there. And then there's the spring set of acceptances, regular decision, right? And so, but it's overall a very stressful time, I think, especially when your friends start getting into colleges. You want to be happy for them, but let's say you didn't get into your top choice, then it's like you have to balance those two things. And I just remember as a high school senior, that was a very difficult set of emotions to manage. And I didn't have anyone to talk to. My parents were, you know, not there emotionally, let's say.
I see.
And, you know, when you go to a big school, the college counselor has no time for you as an individual. So, yeah, I think that's the first, like, stage of college, actually, even before you even go. Like,
Yeah.
getting in, finding out who's getting in where. And I think, again, for Americans, it's like you go, you know, your high school, everyone lives in the same vicinity. You're very close. You can bike to each other's houses, right? You grew up together for 4 years. And then you all are spread out to college all over the country. And again, US is so big,
Yeah.
right? It's like, you know, there's actually many people in my life, I've never seen them since high school, right? And we went to our own colleges and then started working and just we've lived our own lives. And so I think, yeah, that's I think the first time that you have to deal with those kinds of things as an American. Yeah.
I think it's pretty much the same in Korea. The application process, I think there's a thing called 정시, which is like on time, and then sushi, which is more like, I don't know, like before that. So some people get accepted very early on, almost like mid-year almost.
Yeah, yeah. Same
But
with
then
us.
it depends on the college application, like their program, which requires them to still take the sunung. Some colleges to at least like achieve this much score, right? And then
Don't completely bomb it.
yeah, and then there's other colleges where they won't even
Yeah.
look at the sunung scores, which means that these people they don't have to even take the sunung, and like everyone's jealous of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then there are people who go to the 정시 route, which
Yeah.
they have to take the sunung and do the application and everything. Yeah.
Is there a thing for that second semester senior who's gotten into college and they're just like don't give an F about school anymore?
Yeah, of course. But they're not a lot.
Yeah,
there are only
okay.
a handful
I
of
see.
people who can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, as you start getting into your colleges, that second semester senior year in high school, it's just like a party.
Yeah.
You're doing whatever you want, hanging out, like just coasting.
But you don't want to
Do so badly, that you.
Also, you don't want to disturb the vibe of the like the study vibe for everyone else.
No, that doesn't resonate. What do you mean?
Like 방해하지 마.
Oh, because they're still studying for Sunyun?
Yeah.
See, that's very different. Yeah, yeah. No one's taking the SATs. That SAT score is part of your application. So you ship it out, you're just waiting. Right? I think the only thing people are thinking of is like, don't do so badly in school that they rescind my acceptance. Don't go to jail. Don't do it. Don't break the law.
Yeah.
But other than that, people know second semester seniors, you got into college, enjoy these last, let's say, 3-4 months of freedom
yeah.
before college begins.
Yeah.
So.
And then there's whole process of like, I know that in the in the US, you have to write your SOPs and recommendation letters and all that. And it's very different in Korea. But I think we can cover that in the second
Okay,
part.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. All right. How about that summer? At least this is again an American context. There's like school ends, you graduate high school May, let's say, and then June, July is your final summer before August, September when college starts. So in
yeah.
America, there's like a huge association with like seniors, beach week. Like you just go out with your friends and your
Uh-huh.
last kind of hurrah with your high school friends before
Yeah.
everyone splits up for college.
And I can imagine very crazy things happening.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun, right? Is there anything like that? That time between high school and college in Korea?
It's fundamentally different
Uh-huh.
because it starts from March.
So
The
it's winter.
semesters, yeah. Semester starts from March,
Yeah.
and then you have like, yeah, perhaps like 2 or 3 months before that.
Yeah, okay. What do you do in those 2 or 3 months?
But I think the difference is that you're not technically an adult yet. So there aren't a lot of things that you can go crazy with.
Oh,
Yeah, so a lot of that craziness happened during freshman
I
year
see.
and not like before that. Yeah.
What about like I would imagine maybe I don't know you go on a trip with your friends like something like
Yeah,
that.
that might happen.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But there's not like a strong association for that
There's
two
not
three
a
months.
there's not a
A
thing.
classic like everyone tries to do
No,
this.
not
Oh,
not as far
interesting.
as I know.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Yearbooks? Is that I don't want to go into that too much. Superlatives. Okay, yeah. All right, so college. What is like the first memory you have? Okay, go back to whatever, 18 year. How old were you before you were going to undergrad? 18, right?
Yeah, 19 in
Oh,
Korean age.
19 Korean age.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
17, 18 in
yeah.
US age.
Yeah.
17-year-old June, you're going off to college.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What do you remember from that?
I think I was so too much of a 모범생, if you
What's
will.
that mean? Goody two
Like a
shoes?
good student that I wasn't thinking so much about like, oh, I have to like there's like partying and I should go wild or anything. It almost felt like a continuation of my studies. It's like so boring.
Yeah.
Anyways, the first experience that you have with college before you even enter college is
Yeah.
that there is this thing called the OT. OT, as in orientation. But they call
Orientation
it
training.
OT in Korean. It's before you actually enter,
Yeah, yeah.
officially enter. You're like quote unquote 선배s
Yeah.
would contact you saying like, oh, like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
So students who are there.
yeah.
Ah,
Because it's not, I don't think it's like an official school thing,
I see.
but every major does it. And then so I went to Seoul because I wasn't.
oh, it's within your major too.
Yeah,
Ah, interesting.
So I went to Seoul because I don't have. I don't live in. I didn't live in Seoul, and then so I had to take a train, go up there, and then
Oh,
like,
for the OT. Oh, so it's in person.
it's in
For
person.
some reason, I was thinking like phone calls or something, but
Oh no, it's like a unofficial but kind of official event for your major.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's the first time where you meet your. You call it 동기. Do you know like 동기, 선배, 후배 thing?
I know what sambe hube means, but not dongi.
But if you're the same.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Dongkap. Dong must mean
Yes,
similar.
yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Ki is like your
Level. No?
kind of, yeah.
I don't. For some reason, isn't it in karate like ki is like your
Oh, your ki?
yeah your belt? Is that?
Oh, kind of like that.
It is. It might be the same Chinese character.
Maybe,
right?
maybe.
In Japanese.
So your 동기 are like your very tight, like friend group almost. And
So
then
same year, same major.
so you meet, yeah. So you meet your 동기 and then your 선배. Because at that point you don't have a 후배, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like it's very kind of like exciting kind of moments,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's the first time you experience like the college drinking.
At that thing.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's early.
Yeah.
So ripe for abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
so you-
the old upperclassmen
Yeah.
get the incoming freshmen
Yeah.
to drink. Interesting.
But I think they were more careful with like the drinking thing because they're still not officially enrolled, right? And they're like kind of semi high schoolers
Yeah.
at that point. So I don't think they were going very hard on you. But still, like you get to meet the 선배s and
Yeah.
that. And then, yeah, I pulled an all nighter
Wow.
on that day. And my parents were proud about that.
Oh, you told them.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, "Oh, you're not a goody two shoes. You stayed up all night." And then I was like, "Oh, you told your parents about it."
I had to because I like the train was like probably sponsored by my parents.
Well, I don't get it though. Like they don't need to know when you went to sleep and when you woke up.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of endearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your parents were proud of you. Oh,
Yeah.
you stayed up all night.
Yeah.
Well done, son.
I was like one of the two people who did it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Mm.
Because I think for me, I didn't have a place to go back. Like because people who were living in Seoul,
Oh, they
they
could
had to
just go
go back to
home.
their parents.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
I had a similar experience. I think it's more about, okay, you're a senior, you've gotten accepted to a few colleges, but you're trying to decide, let's say, where you actually want to go. So they invite incoming students to actually visit campus and they host them and have some activities prepared. But I only did that for one that was nearby. And I ended up staying with one of my good friends at high school. His older sister was at the school I was going or considering going to. So stayed with her and it was kind of a fun weekend. But yeah, I mean, I think for me going into college, one of my best friends was also going to the same college I was going to. So I was very excited to go to college with them. On the flip side, I think it was not my first choice, my top choice. So I just had this like, I was balancing this like, okay, like I'm going to college, but honestly, just like kind of depressed.
Oh no.
Really like bitter in a sense. Like why didn't I get in? You know, I felt like I should have gotten in. Is it affirmative action? Like all these thoughts, right? So that was my mentality going in. And then actually I was deciding between two colleges. One that was 4 hour drive from my home, and the other that was on the other coast, which I'd never been to California at the time. And you know, I had a girlfriend in high school, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna stay close by. I don't know. Yeah, this is stupid 17-year-old mind. Like, oh, we're gonna get married. Like
That's
첫사랑, right?
That's a
Right?
very American thing too. I think I don't know about nowadays, but you rarely have girlfriend
I know.
boyfriends in high
Oh,
school
I see. I
in
see.
Korea.
Yeah.
So that's
High
not
school
a thing.
sweethearts, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think in my whole life, like maybe like one or two people I know dated in high school and eventually got married. But again, if I had to go back and talk to 18-year-old me or whatever, it's just like slap them and be like, dude, you're not gonna get married.
Yeah.
Like, the odds of you marrying this person are close to zero.
Yeah.
Don't decide where to go to college over that. And you know, I've shared before, this is a very typical freshman experience. But Thanksgiving, everyone goes home from college. It's 2 months into college. It just started. Everyone breaks up, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, of course, you know, you're in college now. You want to, you know, anyway, explore or whatever. So, yeah, I'd say I didn't have like the greatest mindset going into college. But I think a lot of people typically, it's like, again, that first taste of independence. And I think the most typical phrase you'd use in America for college, like the main purpose of it, is you want to find yourself. Who are you, right? Independent from your parents now, independent from your hometown and whatever culture, religion that you grew up in. You know, you need to find yourself now, independent of that. And so I think that's what most people go into college thinking about. Or maybe even to that extent to like, I'm going to reinvent myself, right? Maybe I was like a dork in high school. I want to be cool in college,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that's the mentality of a lot of people. Go find yourself, go reinvent yourself, discover who you are, and just, yeah, make, you know, friends and memories that will last a lifetime. So I think that's your classic mentality going into college.
Oh. It feels like it evolves around so many of like relationships and like friends and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
which I don't think it's a big factor in Korea.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though, you know, I think a lot of people are still very close with their college. Like that's one of your tight social groups in Korea. That 동기, like your same year, same major college group, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But it's not like that. I don't think there's like a very tight like high school
Ah,
relationship which factors in a lot in like your decision making and like all that.
I don't know if I was the exception either. Yeah. But don't you, isn't that something you go into college in Korea thinking about? Like, oh, I'm gonna like make friends and memories that will last my whole life?
Oh
No?
yeah.
Okay.
That first experience in the OT is when you meet your college friends and it almost like you feel like this is gonna like we're gonna be forever.
Forever.
Kind of.
This is your ride or die.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think this is also before actually getting enrolled. There's another thing called a setter.
What's that mean?
It's more of like
Three?
a department wise like camping, if you will, together.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So like that whole department now,
Including the professors and teachers, or just the students still?
professors and teachers participate, but unofficially.
I see.
Yeah.
So the all 4 years of that major,
Yeah.
you all go camping together.
Major and like department. If
Oh,
it's like
the broader department.
Yeah, the department go on a camping together. And
Sorry,
this is
yeah,
pre-enrollment, I think.
Isn't this like thousands of people?
Thousands of people.
Wow.
So they rent out like a resort place.
What? That's so awesome.
That is awesome.
That sounds so fun.
That's when
Yeah.
like you have all like those crazy memories.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
You go
Yeah.
camping together.
That's so cool.
And then it's like this like really like time to get to know your
Yeah,
friends
yeah.
and 선배s and everyone.
So
Like
interesting,
even
yeah.
like outside your major and you meet your professors for the first time. But it's basically just like a drink, like a huge drinking party.
Wow, yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing like that as
Yeah.
far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Horrible stories coming out. Because it's a time
Yeah.
when like all these freshmen don't know like your limits to how
Sure.
much you can drink. So like you basically you drink
Yeah.
too much
Yeah,
and do
yeah, yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
I mean, immediately I just have to say this is the biggest contrast between US and Korea.
Yeah.
US, you're legally not allowed to drink until you're a senior. And even then, kind of an older senior. So your last year in college is when you can first drink, right? So, yeah, first 3 years, maybe people do drink, but it's always, a bit, let's say, nerve-wracking. And it's like, oh, are we going to get caught? Are they going to send campus police? It feels illegal, but everyone's doing it type of thing. And so there's this tension, right? Between like, do you drink? If so, how much, where? And then as a senior, you're finally kind of free to do that, which I'll get into later. But
Great.
all right, maybe we can do year by year. But I think for me, I think this is just a me thing, not necessarily a like U.S. broader thing. But even how I chose what school to go to and what major to enroll in, my dad played a huge part in this, but it was also just kind of very like utilitarian, like in the sense that, oh, which one was a harder college to get accepted to? In that college, which department was the most prestigious department? Let me just go there. And to be fair, like I was good at it. I didn't not like it, but I think I never really thought like, oh, what do I want to do with my life? And quite frankly, looking back now, that's a big point in your life. You're deciding what school, what major. I mean, that sets the path for like 90% of people for their life, right? And it's crazy in my mind that you're asking an 18-year-old to come up with that, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's some colleges where you don't choose a major early, you go in undeclared,
Yeah.
and after 1 or 2 years, then you decide your major. That to me feels more, right? And I was just in this place where like, yes, I was going down this major, spoiler, computer science. But also, like, I did a bunch of pre-med classes.
Oh, you did?
Because I think this is when
Is that an Asian thing?
I really realized, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I never thought, like, oh, what do I want to do with my life? It's still more about, like, what should I do? What do my parents want me to do? What keeps the most options open? So, yeah, I was, like, pre-med. I was, like, computer science major. And I ultimately chose where to go and what department to go to based on just kind of a numbers thing, but also under heavy guidance from my dad.
I see.
Yeah, I think this is, again, very different than how I hope to help my kids navigate this process, which is really like, knowing this is such a big decision point and, path in your life is set so much by this decision you make. Really make it, maybe be flexible, but also really stop and think like, what do I want to do with my life type thing? I don't know. I never even asked myself that. Very similar to what you were saying, Jun. It felt like a continuation of high school. Okay, study hard, get good grades so that, 4 years from now I can get a good job. Right?
Yeah.
And, that was kind of, I think, my mentality. And I wish I had more perspective. I don't know if it's the Korean influence from my parents. I don't know if it's the general immigrant experience. But yeah, I was never asked or thought about these things.
It's so interesting. Your story is so interesting to me because it's like the complete opposite for me. I don't know if it's like a personal thing or like a Korean culture thing, but at the time I felt like it's such a big decision that I have to make that would determine my lifetime. But I know this is again, I'm biased because of my personal like life trajectory of how things worked out.
Yeah.
But looking back to like 19-year-old June, I
Yeah.
would say it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah,
interesting.
don't even like, because I didn't end up doing whatever major
Yeah,
that
your
I
undergrad
choose. Yeah.
major you didn't do. Even
Yeah.
your grad major you didn't do.
Yeah. It was like it felt like such a heavy decision that I have to
Oh,
make.
interesting. Yeah.
But now looking back in hindsight, it's like, it doesn't even matter. Just like enjoy college life more, kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
That's so interesting because I think we're all so biased by how our lives worked out.
Exactly.
I would say my life worked out great in a
Hmm.
sense,
Yeah.
right? And so looking back, I'm very appreciative, and I'll get
Hmm.
into this more later.
Hmm.
I'm appreciative of the guidance and maybe
Hmm.
strong guidance
Hmm.
my dad had in my life and life decisions because it led to this outcome that I think my dad was hoping. Very stable,
Hmm.
comfortable, right?
Hmm.
American dream type life. But if I actually stop and think like my passions, my,
Hmm.
personal desires and
Hmm.
hopes and dreams and all that,
Hmm.
this is where it got me to where
Ah,
I'm, having a midlife
I
crisis.
see.
I don't know what to do with my life and time, and
Uh-huh.
I have no purpose and mission
Ah,
because I was just following what I thought was the right path that my
yeah.
parents had set out for me.
Yeah.
And again, it led to the outcomes they wanted.
Mm-mm-mm.
But this is the counter to that.
I
It's like
see.
I'm not, let's say, pursuing my passions, let's
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if I had to do if I could change my college life, I would say like stop focusing on your studies too much and then don't really care about what decisions that you make.
Yeah.
Just explore a lot of things outside of college.
Yeah.
Like date a lot of people
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like do
yeah.
this and do that and like really figure out what you like. Because like I think that's a integral part of early adulthood that you have to really understand what you
Yeah.
like what makes you the most happy, so that it acts as a barometer of like things that you make decisions on later on after that.
Totally.
Yeah,
I wish I could. So I do agree with that.
yeah.
But a part of me is like, had I done that, would my life have turned out the way it turned out?
That's that.
Yeah, and it's like I'm pretty happy with how my life turned out.
But also, I think you're very exceptional. I think like the choices that you made
Yeah.
that followed from like going through that like very good route actually ended up being like a exceptionally successful one, I think.
I think that's fair. A lot
Yes.
of luck involved
Yeah, yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, this is not college related, but yeah, okay. Maybe for a future episode.
Yeah.
Because I want to say, like, I know this is hindsight bias, but I feel like while my particular path was exceptional in that way, like very lucky, it almost felt inevitable. Studying computer science at that time in that era, I don't know. It just felt a bit, maybe not to this level, but it felt anyway. Okay. Side note. Okay, before we get into more freshman year, let's see. The other thing for me is, yeah, there were 4 kids, I think, from my high school, all going to the same college. And I think this was both a blessing and a curse in a way. 3 of us were in the same major together. So we did all our homework together, problem sets. Like, college was really easy, not only because of my high school prep, but because of this group I had. We all took similar classes together. We could navigate it together. We had the same context, right? So we were instant friends, of course. Even though we weren't super close in high school, one of them we were, but we got even closer in college, right? The flip side of this, though, is like I said, find yourself.
Yeah.
Independent of your home, your parents, that culture, whatever.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that, right? Because it's just so much of it carried over, and it's like I think they say for dogs, let's say, you should never take 2 from the same litter, because then they just play with each other. They never socialize as
I
much
see.
with the humans. And similarly, like I had my litter, we were close, but I never got to, let's say, or was forced to explore, find myself independent of that. So I'm very grateful. I spent like 80% of my college time with these 3 people. At the same time, it's like, oh, if I didn't have that, it would have been a very different experience, I think, for me.
You said you guys were in the same major too.
Same major,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's a big difference.
So
Yeah.
imagine from the same high school, going to the same college, in the same major. Yeah. I don't know. Freshman year, anything jump out? One thing or memory or learning from freshman year?
Freshman year, just a lot of crazy drinking.
Interesting.
Yeah. One crazy memory that I had,
Yeah.
because I went to like a more, I don't know if I can even say this, but like a masculine type of major.
What? What is a masculine major to?
Because like civil engineering, it's more like predominantly
Oh,
men.
male dominated.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So they're very, I think they had pride in how much they can drink, which is a
Oh,
stupid thing if I think
interesting.
about it. Yeah. And like the
Yeah.
one memory that I have is that in the very early drinking days,
Hmm.
at the time, mid 2000s, what
Yeah.
was in trend in drinking culture was a quote unquote 과일 soju.
Fruit soju.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like fruit flavor infused
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
soju, which
yeah.
is supposed to be a little bit more
Yeah.
softer.
Same in the US.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was like a big trend thing, right?
Specifically yogurt soju.
Those kind of
Yeah, yeah,
those
yeah,
types of
dude. That
things.
is dangerous.
And so
Yeah.
go into this 술jip
Yeah.
where everything's like prepared because there's
Uh-huh.
like probably going to be at least like 50 people.
Uh-huh.
So we rented out the place and I go in and everything like the table is set up
Yeah.
and they're like choir soldiers on
Yeah,
each
yeah, yeah.
table. I was like, oh, this is like not bad as I thought.
Yeah.
Right. And then so as I sit, they bring out the real soju and they tell them this is your anju.
You're warming up with the choir soju. Then you're
No,
gonna
you
move
just drink the soju and then you and then you drink the choir soju as like a
as an
chaser,
accompaniment. Oh, okay,
as if
okay.
it's like an anju. Isn't that's like one big memory
That's
that I have?
crazy.
Yeah,
Okay. What's your limit or what's the most you drank? Do you remember?
probably like it's crazy that I think about
Yeah.
it now. But it's like maybe 4 bottles
Yeah,
of
yeah,
soju.
yeah, yeah.
It's like I would never do that now.
One of my cousins,
Yeah.
he said he won his military U.S. Korean military drinking contest. 7 bottles.
Oh my god.
Bro, that's like you're
That's
gonna kill
gross.
yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Also, what was very predominant in college culture at the time was this is a very Korean thing, culture.
Athletic what?
It's not athletic, but it's
Oh.
like if I had to translate, it's like the I
Is it
want to
like
be
a hazing? Is
politically
it hazing
very
thing?
correct about this. But most of college like student bodies are very politically infused at the time.
Oh, interesting.
More like left leaning.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's the same
Yeah.
as in the U.S. Most colleges are liberal and left-leaning.
And it dominates the college culture a lot in that way.
I'm still waiting for the connection.
So like all the class activities that you do
Yeah.
that are run by these student organization bodies are heavily politically infused. We sing
Really?
we sing like political songs.
That's so wild to me.
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm.
And then there's like student like connections to like the actual like bigger like political movement organizations for adults like they're also
Ah,
there's connections
I see.
there,
Yeah.
and so we learn about those propagandas and stuff. That was like a big experience for me in college.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
It feels unhealthy. It feels like these political organizations are trying to indoctrinate college
Yes,
students in a very
yes.
susceptible time in their life.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Because at the time I didn't even know.
What
I
was
thought this
happening,
was just
yeah.
like adult college culture. So the one time that I realized this is, oh, this is actually like a very serious thing. Is there's this culture called 농활 in
No idea.
Korea. This is like a very Korean thing.
Yeah.
During breaks, you go to like 시골s,
Okay.
and like the facade of it is that you go to 시골s, like the college students go to 시골s, and you help out the farming thing
Okay.
because there are not like work labor there.
Yeah.
So I thought this was like a very fun, kind of activity. It's
Community
like,
service almost.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then I realized that it's a connection between the 시골 like political movement
Uh-huh.
organization
Yeah.
to the student thing.
Interesting.
And then so we did actually do the farming whatever activities, but at night like we come together and we talk about like this
Politics?
like anti-America and like
Really?
FTA's like bad and stuff like that.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I was like, oh, what did I get into? Like that
getting
was when I
chills. Yeah, this
realized.
seems weird, yeah.
This is a very integral part of at least like the mid 2000s
Yeah.
college life. I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was going to associate it with, I know my mother-in-law speaks about this sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but I think college students, to be fair in the US too, but in Korea, they're famous for demonstrating like very strongly, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like protesting things, like student protests, right? So maybe that's where it's coming from. But
Yeah, that's like the trajectory in history,
I
but
see.
nowadays it's all gone.
okay.
but my college campus was famous for not having, what do you say, like the blocks for the pavements. So that's what you usually do in Korea for the pavements. You don't cement it, you
Yeah,
block.
the pavers. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But my college campus was famous to like cement everything
Oh,
because
like
during
okay, okay.
protests they would like pick up the blocks and throw it.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's violent.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But yeah,
Okay,
that
interesting.
was a big part.
I do think overall, again, universities in the U.S. tend to be liberal, left-leaning,
Mm-hmm.
and again, student protests are a thing,
Mm.
right? But I don't think it's to this extent. Yeah,
Mm.
definitely, I was not
Yeah.
ever feeling like I was being
Yeah.
indoctrinated or pushed one way or the other. So,
Yeah, this is very
yeah.
like I think a very far left leaning thing. But in
Mm,
college, like this look like the word 미제
yeah.
was the first time I heard it. Not as in like made in the US. 미제 in that context was short for 미제국주의, like
Okay.
American imperialism. I
Wow.
was like,
Dude, okay.
isn't that crazy?
All right. So if I met you as a college freshman, you might be like
I don't know.
arresting me. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing that stands out is, right, like you went to actually a formal drinking place to drink as a college
Yes.
freshman.
Yeah.
Again, as I told you, in the US, it's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
So, fake ID, whatever.
Mm.
But all the drinking was done in college dorm rooms
Mm-hmm.
or it was done in, frat houses or whatever,
Yeah.
out of the public eye because,
Mm.
technically you weren't allowed to. So, very
Ah.
big difference, I think.
Mm-mm. But isn't it because you said that most of the time the city around the
College
university is
towns,
college
yeah.
town? Wouldn't they be more accepting of that?
In a sense, it's like a don't ask thing, like, okay.
Mm.
But in a sense, they're more aware of it. Like
Mm.
they know that underage people are trying to drink, so they're
Yeah.
gonna be extra
Oh, I
wary
see.
of people using fake
Uh-huh.
IDs or trying to sneak in,
Uh-huh.
lying,
Uh-huh.
etc. Yeah. So.
Because the thing about Korean is that there's that like quote unquote 빠른 age, where if like you're like maybe, let's say you're 97, 87,
Yeah.
but then you also your 동기's there's some people who are 88.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah.
Little younger. Yeah.
Yeah, January and February almost, and they're technically not allowed to
Yeah,
drink,
yeah, yeah. But they'll be okay.
but they're like
like,
always
together.
okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
see. Yeah. Very different in the U.S. I mean, the age range is big. Like I said, it's not like college second years can drink. You have to wait 4 years before
Yeah.
you're legally allowed to drink. So it's a big difference,
Yeah.
college freshmen versus college seniors.
I see.
Freshman year, yeah, to be honest, I didn't have many memories. This was really an extension of high school. I studied hard, had perfect marks, applied for my first choice again, transfer.
Wow.
Didn't get in again. I also had a very
Wait, was that med school?
no.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. But anyway, that year apparently there were over 800 transfer applicants, and they only took 3.
Oh, transferring actually to another.
Yeah, to another college. Yeah.
Ah.
So I was still again like my parents' dreams, my dreams, like still kind of hold on to that rejection, but didn't happen. In hindsight, again, it worked out fine. But yeah, that was my mindset. I was quite depressed. Had broken up with my high school girlfriend, just like trying to find myself. But it really was an extension of my high school life in a sense. My closest friends were those high school friends in my major, and also I found the Korean American church in my college. And so yeah, that was again 100% of my time was probably spent with those 2 groups. Yeah.
I also want to mention this is also a very important culture in college in Korea, which is what we call 동아리, like club activities. So these are like small groups of, small groups that evolve around a certain topic.
Yeah.
It's like an anime 동아리.
Club, interest club, hobby club.
Yeah. So a lot of people they join one or multiple of these clubs. That's a very big part of college culture too. Or there something similar in the States?
Of course,
Yeah.
but it never felt as formal. Like people, typically it involved, I don't know, are you going to join a frat or not? Are you a part of like an athletic group or not? But otherwise, it's just like finding that community.
I
But it
see.
never felt like, oh, you have to choose one of the like 5 clubs to join type thing.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a very clear listing of all the clubs you could join.
Ah.
Yeah, there are times when specifically all the clubs go out to like, let's say the college quad. They're trying to recruit people, right? Whether it's for rowing or something like that. But it never felt so structured, I would say, in my mind.
It's so interesting because it just clicked to me that it goes so much hand in hand with Korean like social group
Yeah, of
culture.
course.
Because
Yeah,
there are
yeah,
like
yeah.
small groups of things that
Yeah.
you always have to be associated with, and something that you're like it's kind of like your main thing,
Yeah.
and then your like side thing,
Yeah.
kind of.
So if you like met a random other college student your year,
Yeah.
you would be like, "Oh, what year, what major, what club, what second club?" That's just how
Kind of.
you talk about it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But some people choose not to really heavily invest in clubs and they just stick with their major group, which
Yeah.
we call like 과 활동.
Yeah.
Like 과 is major, 활동 is like activities.
Mm.
Like so people who are more invested in 과 활동 are more like that's your main like home ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was me. And
Yeah.
then I tried doing 동아리 a little bit, but
Clubs,
it
yeah.
didn't work out. Yeah.
See, I guess someone like me, I think, would have appreciated the structure that Korean college life seems to have provided. Because I think for me, and I think Americans in general, you're like floating. You're looking for these communities. It's very fluid. It doesn't seem that high committal. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously frats can be high commitment,
Yeah.
but it's very like fluid,
Yeah.
like jumping from thing to thing, trying to find yourself. Whereas if I went to college in Korea, it would have been like, oh, here are the 50 clubs.
Yeah.
Pick your primary and secondary.
Yeah.
I think I would have appreciated that structure. But for me, it was just like, I'll talk about it more if we have time.
Yeah.
But just a really fluid floating. Like I
see.
tried to get really deep into my major. To contrast your major earlier, like my field was also very male dominated, like 3-1 in general.
Yeah.
But not masculine at all, very nerdy. Like, your typical picture of computer science majors.
I bet my major was also very nerdy too, but we thought of ourselves as being very masculine.
No, I don't know. But, computer sciences, they're very nerdy. Like,
yeah.
Just like dark basement, just coding, playing computer games.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, that was my life.
Yeah. To clarify,
Yeah.
going back to like the structure of things, it wasn't like officially like your primary club and your secondary club. It's just the way that it worked out.
Sure.
Yeah. It's not that there's officially a primary club and secondary.
Well, I mean, it's just like social circles.
Yes.
You have your tight clique,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you don't have time for anything else.
Exactly.
Because it's so demanding of you.
Yeah. That's
What
why
I'm
I
saying,
couldn't. Yeah.
It felt very fluid and like less demanding in a sense.
I see.
Of course, if you were like a varsity athlete,
Mm-hmm.
actually playing on the official college team or something like that, it was very high commitment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in the U.S. again, I think the first thing I tried was like I always had done coding competitions or whatever. So my college had a very very strong professional coding team. I tried that for a while.
Wow.
Dropped out, like didn't really care that much.
I see.
Obviously, the things that stuck were my Korean American church group, and I tried hanging out with like the more in major in department things. Getting together, volunteering, whatever. Never really clicked for me. Again, that was a kind of maybe in hindsight a very hard time in my life.
I see.
But
Is there a thing called a 과방?
like department room.
Yeah.
There was, but I never spent time there. And it was mostly, I think it was for the grad students to hang out. And the undergrads only went in if they had some association or reason to.
Oh, that's so
But
different.
we didn't have like and if we did, again, computer sciences, it would have known to be very smelly and disgusting kind of.
It is. But there's always a dedicated physical room for both
people to
majors
gather.
and then the clubs.
Oh,
So it's
interesting.
like how physically it's almost like how much time you spend almost. Because like in college, your timetable isn't really packed like high school, right? So they're like in between times where you don't have to do anything, which we call 공강. And then those times, like where do you go hang out? If you're like more invested in your like major type thing, you go to your 과방.
Yeah.
And then if you're like more of a club person, you would go to a 동아리방,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
your
yeah.
club room.
Yeah. Maybe we should talk about that. What's your average course load look like in college? And like, how do you manage your time? Because I think that was a big thing for me. I really struggled to manage my time. Stayed up late, procrastinated, like overslept things all the time. It was a huge disaster.
It's something that especially if you're a freshman, your 선배s kind of help you do that because you don't know how to. So I think still compared to high school, it felt very loose. Yeah. So the 선배s know how to do like they have the know-how how to make it more easier for you to like
that's
packet
so
everything
nice.
on the AM so that you can go home early or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
Were you assigned like a upperclassman buddy? Like when you say the sambes, was it like one sambe that was assigned to you?
No, it's
It's like a group. You can
it's a
ask the
group as in like
boy.
it's a very tight relationship anyways, so you don't have like a very there's no dedicated person,
Uh-huh.
but the sambes would just like because you just hang out in
Well, I
your
need
major
to
room.
step back. How
Yeah,
many people per year per department are there?
it
I'm thinking
differs.
100.
No, mine had like 20-ish.
Oh, wow.
So
But even
we were
still, how
very
can
tight.
20, so every year 20, so 80.
Yeah,
How can that be tight? I don't know. In my mind, it's hard to imagine.
it's almost like a required thing. You have
Uh-huh.
to be very tight.
So like you go to that department room and you like ask the
Yeah,
elders, 20 upperclassmen,
yeah,
help me with my schedule.
yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
It's the point where I didn't have to ask.
They
They're
would
like,
tell
"Oh
you,
yeah,
look over your shoulder,
yeah,
like, oh, can
I'll
I
do
help
it
you with
for
this?
you." Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. That's so
Oh,
awesome.
and then one more thing,
Yeah.
as a freshman, you have a very the thing is that you don't have to pay for any of your meals.
Wow. The
If you
Sunbest
ask
pay
the
for
Sunbes,
everything?
yeah, Sunbes pay for everything.
How do Sunbest have money? Everyone in college is
So
broke and starving.
they do all these like albas
Uh-huh.
to save up for like that. Yeah,
Wow. Because they got it when they were younger. They want to pay it forward.
to be clear, I think it was for just like that 1 month, which was like
The first
the
month?
first month
Ah, okay,
of
okay.
March, which is almost required.
Ah.
But then after that, it was a little bit more loose.
Wow. That's crazy.
I also want to talk about
Yeah.
수강 신청, that like enrollment of the
Process?
classes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the most stressful thing ever. You
Oh,
have to
no.
wake
I
up.
know. I know.
Yeah,
Because
you
Korea
go
is
to like
so about
PC방s.
fairness. Yeah. It's just
And
like
then
concert
you look
tickets.
at the server time. Wasn't it like that for
No, what?
so this every
Yeah.
Korean has this memory of how stressful
Oh,
it was
yeah, yeah.
in
I can imagine.
in that era. So we oftentimes if we enroll in like these concerts and events,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
all refer to like, oh, this is like
Oh my
수강 신청.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
This makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It explains so many things about Korean culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are trained from a very young age
Yeah.
to like be early, multi like computer, fast internet connection.
Exactly. That's when
trying to
you-
like sign up for the registration.
That's
of
when you
classes.
first learn, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Side note,
Yeah.
like the way that our kids' school does after school activity clubs, the most ridiculous thing to me, but now it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's the same way.
Oh.
There's a registration time, first come, first serve.
Yeah.
No, no, no. The way it should be, in my opinion, is everyone applies, and maybe there's like some cutoff time, but by the cutoff time, then there's a lottery system. And like that to me seems more fair
Yeah.
in a sense. It's like everyone has an equal chance at getting in if you want to.
Now
Whereas
that-
Korea, it's almost not fair. Who has the most? It's like a skill thing in a
Yeah.
sense, but also there's luck.
Now that you talk about it, why didn't we design it that way? Yeah.
I think that's the more fair system. Set a
Yeah.
cutoff time. Everyone express their intent.
Yeah.
And then it's just draw.
Yeah, it just makes it more competitive for no reason.
For
I
no
think.
reason, yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. That explains so many weird things about Korean culture. Sorry, not weird, but things that I get stressed about. Okay, two things I want to share freshman year before moving on. Yeah. One is maybe I just want to air a grievance, which is I remember all throughout high school I spent my summers doing research, right, at local college or like a local research institute, and I wanted to do the same in college. So I was a computer science major, but I went to the head of the electrical engineering department and said, "Oh, I want to do research." And this guy, it's still in hindsight, I remember like 18-year-old me. This guy was so mean and rude to me. Like, "Oh, you're a computer science major. Why are you here?"
Wow.
I'm like, "Well,
was this another student or
no, it was the dean of that
in the
major."
office.
And it's like it was such a deflating moment. It was like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, just trying to like do the right thing. It's like getting the smackdown in the most rudest, meanest manner.
Oh wow.
And look, in hindsight, there's so many things that could have played a part, right? But I do think there were like department tensions between computer science and electrical engineering.
I see.
I think, maybe he saw me as another like international Asian student just trying to like be hyper competitive or something. But I felt very naive in hindsight in that moment. I was trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Just like really getting a smackdown felt really terrible. The second thing is I was horrible at time management, right? And I overslept my final exam for one class.
Oh
And
no.
I still remember that moment of dread. It was the most ridiculous thing. I was shooting pool at like I didn't oversleep it only. I just forgot about it too.
Yeah, yeah.
I was shooting pool And then my friend comes back who was in the class with me. He was like, "Oh, where were you? I didn't see you this morning." I was like, "What do you mean?" Oh, F.
Oh my God,
He was like,
gives
"You're
me
kidding, right?"
chills.
He was like, "You know our final was this morning."
Oh my
And
God.
I was like, "Oh my God."
Well, you didn't know it was on that day, or you knew it,
I
but you
hadn't I
forgot?
hadn't been going to class all
Oh
year.
God.
You know why? It was like 7:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and it was the even when I went to class, I was just sleeping,
Wow.
right? Because it was intro to accounting. It
Mm-hmm.
was one of those you have to do an out of major elective whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, like this was the dumbest class I've ever. They were like, if you calculate this thing two ways,
Mm-hmm.
you get the same number. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, what? Why are we learning this in a college class?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like memorizing terms and definitions. And to me, in my mind, in hindsight, it makes sense. I'm really bad at this stuff. But it was the most mind-numbingly boring thing you could ever talk about.
Cocky.
No, but I did bad in this class. Like it's
Uh,
not. No, I wish this is not my area of strength.
mm,
Like memorizing these kinds of
uh,
things and like being meticulous about.
mm-mm,
I'm a high level concept guy, June.
mm-hmm,
Even in computer science, I'm very very good at
mm-hmm,
the algorithms, the math.
mm-hmm,
I'm very very bad at the actual
mm-hmm,
coding and implementation.
mm-hmm,
But anyway, that just moment of dread,
mm-hmm,
I will never forget it. Like, oh, I just threw my life away.
mm-hmm.
My parents are going to kill me.
Yeah,
I failed that. Like everything was just like my life is over.
yeah.
Thankfully, that teacher professor was very gracious, let me
Mm,
retake it,
mm.
and I think somehow I got a B or C. I
Oh,
don't know.
they made you retake it. Nice.
Yeah, these electives are so painful for me.
Wow.
Oh, okay. That's freshman year.
Mm,
I'd say overall, the other clubs I did, I had played volleyball 4 years in high school.
mm,
So I also played on an intramural volleyball team.
mm, mm.
We won, in case you were.
Oh, you
But
did.
at the lowest level, there's like advanced, intermediate, and beginner. So we won beginner level.
Anyways, what? But that's a thing.
Yeah, so like I think in college, again, sports are such a big part of your life overall in
Mm-mm,
America. But there's like the varsity, then there's club, which is
mm-mm,
not officially you're not playing for the school,
mm.
but you're at a very high level,
I
very
see.
high commitment. And then there's intramural,
Mm,
which is like the casual students playing against other students.
mm-mm.
So that was the level I was playing at.
Uh,
But still, it's like I found a lot of community, a lot of memories, and still
uh,
friendships to this day playing volleyball with people. So,
I remember what I was gonna say.
mm.
So when we enrolled in all these classes, of
Yeah.
course, like especially in your first semester of freshman year, you still have that inertia from like high school of like, oh, you have to study for this.
Yeah.
And so I thought the natural thing is that, oh, like let's form like a study group and let's study for this together. And like I remember my like 선배s looking at us and saying like as if like we're the stupidest people ever.
Wait, why?
They're like, why are you doing this? Like you should enjoy college life.
What?
Yeah, yeah. So the
That's
thing,
interesting,
so
yeah.
the big caveat is that even up until the mid 2000s, like my school was a pretty good school in Korea, so we had no issue in getting a good job, regardless of our grades.
Yeah.
So they thought we were stupid in
Yeah.
trying to get good grades in college.
Why
but
bother? Yeah.
but everything changed as we were like trying to graduate.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was like I think in hindsight it was a better move. But
Yeah.
anyways, they thought we were very stupid. Yeah.
So I'd say my perception and what I heard as a Korean American was yes, in Korea, again, we're the same generation, let's say. Once you getting into college in Korea was the hard part.
Yeah.
But once you got in, you could do nothing. College was for partying.
Yeah.
And then you got into a good job anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So I think so long as you had that name on your
Yeah.
resume, you could get into any workplace
Yeah.
you wanted to. At least that was the perception, even in Korea. Even for Korean Americans in America of Korean college life.
That was up until like the mid 2000s. Because I started
then it changed,
hearing
yeah.
at my sophomore year, like my 선배s, they couldn't get into like their first applied job. And we were like, what's
What?
going
Yeah,
on?
yeah.
Right? This is the first ever, yeah,
Let's see. Okay. Sophomore year.
sophomore.
Sophomore year for me was big.
Mm,
I think that's when I finally started to get settled. I said in a previous episode, I did not have a great freshman roommate experience, but I got to choose my sophomore year roommate, this kid from New York. Yeah, I think a lot of memories from that year, but I don't know where I should start. June, do you know what a sock on a door handle means?
Oh, like a tie on a door handle?
Is that the thing in Korea?
No, I saw it on Friends.
Oh, is that the same thing? Probably.
Yeah.
It's basically privacy, please
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
enter.
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's like how roommates communicate with each other. Like I want some privacy.
Yeah.
I put the sock on the door handle,
Yeah.
close the door. There was one time that roommate, he was like, oh, my girlfriend from New York's visiting this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, don't worry, I'll move out for the weekend. So I literally did. I took my desktop computer, went to those previously mentioned friends' place. I went to their dorm room and literally just lived there for the whole weekend. It was fun. It coincided, June, with the Diablo 2 ladder reset. So we literally played like 36 hours straight of Diablo 2. I remember
What's a ladder reset?
it's like every 3 months they reset everything, so it's a fresh start.
Okay.
And I remember after logging out, I was a top 10 barb in North America.
You were a barb?
Barb, yeah, I always played barb. So I felt both immensely proud, but also kind of sad. Like, what am I doing with my life? But mostly pride. I was like, I am a top 10 barb. Jeez, that's crazy.
It reminds me of your volleyball thing, because you were in the US server. Isn't that like the beginners?
Yeah,
you were in the Asia server. Top
I don't
10.
know if Diablo 2 was big in Korea.
It was very big.
Oh, yeah.
In my high school years,
We were casual, so, in a sense, but we just played a lot. 36 hours straight. I still remember, the only reason we left was to eat. And then the other thing, I guess this weekend like perfectly encapsulates that sophomore year of college for me. There was another thing we did, which was the school put on in its main like auditorium, $1 movie nights or whatever on the weekends. And so probably literally every weekend, me and those friends, the three or four of us, we would go watch a $1 movie. And so that was like our thing to do. While other cooler kids were going to frat houses and drinking, we just went to watch $1 movies. So yeah, played a lot of Diablo 2. A lot of online poker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, June, this is where I got all of my spending money, actually, is through online poker. Played a ton of that. And then, yeah.
It's crazy.
Why? Similar life?
No, it feels like you're like that very like smart genius kid who would make money on like online poker, like kind of cool.
Cool?
Isn't it cool?
See, that's the opposite. I felt like such a nerd and dork. I was full of like shame and embarrassment and low self-esteem.
Wait, but like compared to like actually doing like a part-time job, isn't it like more easier?
I don't know. I never felt that way. Yeah. I also, maybe that is I never thought of it this way. But not only was I playing Diablo 2, I was botting. Like I had bots playing and I would sell the items for money, whatever, $5 on eBay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made enough money so I can like buy my own food, spend, my own spending money.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. My parents, I think I never asked. They probably would have given me money if I needed, but I never asked for money. Basically, yeah, my parents didn't provide any financial support outside of course, paying for a very expensive college.
Yeah.
After college, though, that's kind of the end of that relationship in that sense.
Cool.
Like, the final thing, so the second thing that perfectly encapsulates college for me, Nelson, one of our previous guests, talked about this too. We just played basketball and then ate Popeyes. Like, that's what I remember from college.
But why Popeyes
It
again?
has to be Popeyes. It's so good.
Because it's just good.
It's the best fried chicken.
Oh, no KFC.
No KFC. No. The batter's not as crispy and it's not as tasty for us. So, yeah, that's like, again, 90% of...
Is that not like a black culture?
Oh,
like fried chicken.
Honestly, a lot of, I'd say, Korean American culture is more black adjacent than any other race.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why so?
I don't know. It's an interesting question, but I think it is. I think it's true. I think a lot of Koreans moved into, let's say, predominantly black neighborhoods, right? And this is what caused a lot of detention for the LA riots, right? Like, why are the Koreans taking over our corner stores? Why are we shopping at all these Korean-owned stores, right? Convenience stores, restaurants, whatever it might be. And I think that caused a lot of that tension. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't associate Popeyes necessarily with black culture. Maybe it is. But yeah, basketball, played at the college gym for 2-3 hours. Now I can't play for more than an hour without getting super tired. But we would play forever, go eat Popeyes, and then go home. So, yeah, that was 90% of my sophomore year of college. Basketball, some volleyball, watching movies for $1, playing a lot of online poker, and playing a lot of Diablo. World of Warcraft. Oh my gosh, you have to talk about World of Warcraft.
You're nerding out.
It was also World of Warcraft. And I don't know why I never got into it as much as my friends. But of course, there was, oh my gosh, yeah. There was one time I slash played. Was this sophomore or junior year? Sorry, junior year, I think was really when it went crazy. But June, there's this function in World of Warcraft where you can see how much time you spent in the game, slash played. I'm not kidding. I think in one calendar year, I played 100 days. I was logged in for whatever, 100 days times 24 hours. It's sick. It's gross thinking about it.
Wow. That equates to like almost like what?
A third of my waking hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross.
Throughout the years.
Throughout one calendar year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really
Wow.
unhealthy.
In Korea, my college, it was still StarCraft.
Yeah.
And then at the time, StarCraft was still very an old game, but everyone was still playing.
Yeah.
And I remember us thinking, oh, this is gonna be our like golf of our generation.
Yeah.
So we'll have to learn it. Like at least for me, because
Yeah.
I didn't play StarCraft.
Yeah.
So that was my first attempt to play StarCraft. The biggest handicap for me in StarCraft, although I'm not really good at gaming in general,
Yeah.
but it's the color blindness. I didn't know which was which.
That's so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a function where you can just like
Toggle colors now?
yeah, like enemy to like
Yes. Yeah.
but still I wasn't really
that's so
good
hard.
at it. Yeah. But I truly believe that if this game is sticking around for this
Yeah.
this long, maybe it's gonna be like a staple like thing that
Networking event that
yeah,
you have to do.
even after I become an adult. That's what I truly believe. So I was like,
Interesting.
I have to learn this thing. Other than that, sophomore year felt very much like whatever you felt as a first child, and
Yeah.
then what you feel as when a second child is born. You feel like a lot of attention is moving towards that
The new freshman class.
and at the same time I have to take care of these guys.
Yeah.
But then we feel a bit like out of the focus now.
Yeah.
And feel a little bit of betrayal.
Yeah, I get it.
Slightly
Yeah, totally.
sad, but also fun now that like we know what college life is kind of like, and
Yeah.
like we can act as humbes. That was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
fun, and
Did you have to pay for their meals now?
so much money.
man,
I paid over 100만 won on 1 month,
Oh
which
my
is
gosh.
a lot of money
For a college student,
for college
yeah.
students,
That is a lot. No, totally.
and in the mid 2000s.
Yeah. Oh, so wait, sorry. When you say upperclassmen, is it immediately 1 year older? Not the whole 1 year older, 2 year older?
Everyone,
3 year-
everyone.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
but it's more the responsibility of the sophomores.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. That was not clear to me.
Yeah, that thing.
By the way, before you move on,
Mhm.
there were these 4 Korean Americans / Korean Koreans. Now I realize in hindsight, but
Yeah.
first gen, or 1.5 or second gen Koreans from Jersey,
Yeah.
they played so much Counter Strike. It was absurd.
Oh.
And they were so good that they would get kicked off of servers because they were assumed that they were botting, like basically cheating, but they weren't. I was watching them play. It was all like, 360 no scope snipes, but they played so much. And I think that was my first realization that like, oh, Koreans from like Jersey, New York, different from Koreans in the suburbs. They were like smoking, they were cool, they like growing up in high school, they had been going to PC bangs their whole life. And for me, as like very like sheltered, naive Korean American boy from the suburbs, I was like, "What? You guys did that?" I was like, "Oh wow!" Like it's we there's different Korean Americans.
Feels
in
very
the world.
spoiled though.
I wouldn't say spoiled.
Like coming from a wealthy family, no.
Maybe more rebellious than anything.
I
In my mind, in my
Yeah.
like Christian, conservative, sheltered mind.
I see.
Like wow, they like stayed out at night to play computer games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, my sophomore year is the first time I dated.
Oh.
A freshman.
Okay. All right.
Now that I think about it, it's kind of weird.
Okay.
Because she dated one of my tongis, and then I like dated her. Which now that I think about it, I wouldn't do that. But at that time, I didn't know
It
anything.
didn't feel wrong.
It felt a little bit wrong, but like
Okay.
I was like, what are we gonna do?
Did you get your Dongi's blessing to date her?
We just like not talked about it.
Okay. Let's see. Anything else from sophomore year, Jun?
No.
Hmm.
I think from sophomore year I started doing like the quote unquote alba to make money.
Okay.
It's mostly kwae,
Ah.
like tutoring.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing special about that. Yeah.
I also, again, trying to find myself in this way. I did research for like 6 weeks, But yeah, I lacked so to make some like side money or whatever.
like
But
RA or whatever.
exactly like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I was doing some research, and then yeah, in hindsight, this is where like I didn't have the perspective I wish I had.
Mm,
Like this is a very like pretty difficult to get research position, but I just
mm,
didn't take it seriously.
mm,
Like I had no meaning or purpose or value in it.
mm,
It just felt like something I could do, so I should do it. But
mm,
yeah, I quickly lost motivation,
mm,
right? I think
mm,
that's the story of a lot of my life.
mm, mm.
And the other thing I have to shout out, this is when LeBron James was becoming his rookie year. And I just remember being in like the dorm room with the
Mhm,
TV. Like
mhm.
you talked about Korean dorms too. We had
Yeah.
one as well. And I was the only one watching him play his first game as an
Uh-huh.
NBA athlete.
Oh wow, his
I
first
was
game.
like, this has happened to me over and over where like I care more about things that maybe my peers don't. It's like,
Oh.
why is no one interested in watching LeBron James's first NBA game,
Oh, he
right?
was already big as a rookie.
Huge. Yeah, he was
Oh.
probably the most hyped high school player of all time.
Oh, I see.
But I remember still very, very much being in that room by myself, watching
Mm,
him play, and just going nuts. Like,
mm,
how is this guy so good
mm,
as an 18-year-old rookie, right?
mm,
So, but yeah, I think that also stands out to me sophomore year.
mm.
All right. Should we? Oh, I'm also curious, Jun. What does your typical meal look like? Like, are you still? Because I shared previously, at least my college, freshmen were required to be on the meal plan,
Mm,
but after that you weren't. And so again, to save money, save my parents money, I stopped. I This was like the first year I had to provide for myself
mhm,
food wise.
mm,
So I knew I always got $5 pad thai. There was a series of food trucks
mm,
near where I went to college. So I ate probably again like 80% of my lunches and
mm.
dinners were there. But
Again, meals are relatively very cheap, not only compared to the US, but
yeah, yeah.
also compared to Korea outside of school.
So you just
So
stayed you had like
staying in campus,
you just paid cash or
yeah,
card or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, one big difference in sophomore culture that Americans wouldn't have is that now, like, some of your 동기s start going to military.
Oh, so crazy. That's also what I heard.
Yeah.
The most typical timeline for a Korean man is do your freshman year, then do 2 years of military,
Yeah.
and then come back as a sophomore 3 years later.
Hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's so disruptive.
Hmm.
Okay, explain this to me. Why wouldn't you just do your military before college and start college? Oh, maybe because that's weird. Like you're 2 years older than everyone starting freshman year. Or wait till you graduate college and then do it before starting work. Like to me, the idea of interrupting college for 2 years seems crazy.
So the reason why you don't do that before entering college is that you wanna at least experience that freshman experience on your like
On time
on
with
time.
your peers.
Yeah,
I see.
because like the age thing is such a big thing. So if you come back from military, you're called a 복학생, like comeback student, and you're like classified as something completely different.
I see.
Like they view you as like an 아저씨, and you can't really
You
hang
become a
out.
man,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can't hang out with your 동기s.
See, isn't
yeah.
that a weird dynamic?
It is a very weird dynamic.
so weird.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
want to at least experience like that peak of your college life as
Yeah.
a freshman and then go.
I see.
Yeah, so your 동기s start going to military as a thing in sophomore. Some people go on your third year. Yeah.
It's also kind of weird to me that it's like a choice. Like, isn't it? I'm curious why the culture didn't evolve such that everyone just did it at the same time.
To give you more freedom, I think, a little bit. Although it's
Interesting.
an obligation.
Okay.
Yeah.
But would you say like I don't know, a very high percent did it between freshman and sophomore year?
At least for me, like going on the first semester of sophomore year was a little bit of an anomaly for my 동기s.
Oh, so it was early.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay,
Most went to like at least second semester or first semester of third year.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, again, this explained a lot once I found out in my like late 20s, looking at resumes from Korean applicants.
Yeah.
Like, why were you an undergrad for 8 years?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, a 2 year military,
Yeah.
1 year internship, took time off.
Yeah.
Like, I think that flexibility and freedom is very different than America, where it's like, oh, if you didn't graduate on time,
Yeah.
it's a red flag almost. Like, what? And I think, again, that's maybe a cultural misinterpretation. I think a lot of people looking at a Korean resume would have similar questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, third year,
Is there not a term for third year?
junior year.
Oh, junior. Okay.
I was trying to be Korean.
Yeah.
College third year.
Junior.
as a junior, now you're officially an upperclassman,
Yeah.
right? Still can't, but I think some people are starting to become of legal drinking age,
Mm-hmm.
but still not most people. Yeah, most
Mm-hmm.
people can't drink yet
Mm-hmm.
legally, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
until senior year. Let's see, junior year, it was kind of a blur for me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of the same. Still a lot of online poker, maybe even more. This is when I started having a bankroll, playing in bigger tournaments, right?
Oh,
But no, no,
wow.
no. I played very low limits, June.
Okay.
But for me, in my mind back then, playing like $100 buy-in
Yeah.
was crazy.
Mm.
I was just like, what am I doing? This is so much money.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was still better than your average
I
player,
see.
so I could still make money back then.
I'm starting to realize I shouldn't play poker with you anymore.
No, no, June. No. Now everyone's caught up. But I will say I was very early. There was an online forum. This is like very early internet. Online poker wasn't even the thing.
Mm.
2+2 forums. I was
Mm.
introduced to that very early.
Mm-hmm.
Poker theory, limit theory, all that. So, and I had enough math background to
I know nothing.
to know all
I
of
know
that. So.
nothing of all of that.
But anyway, let's see. I would replacing Diablo 2 with World of Warcraft. This was the year I just played too much.
Mm.
But still a lot of online poker, still a lot of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I think worth recognizing is two things. One, I had a bunch of this is where I had a bunch of friends,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of let's say Koreans, but they went to international school.
Mm.
This is when I started to really like maybe get to know them more, try to hang out with them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all like business majors.
Mm.
So they were trying to start a business fraternity,
Mm-hmm.
which is again more of a professional frat.
Mm.
No partying, no house, no frat house or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but just like trying to be more of like a professional networking, let's say.
Mm-mm.
And so they needed numbers. They needed 30 charter people.
Mm.
And so they were trying to recruit me. They're like, look, we just need you to show up, put your name down, and be a charter member.
Mm.
So I did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the only unique thing I remember about junior year. The other thing was we started to, yeah, okay, sorry, three things, two more things. One, this is when I first started to notice burnout, I guess,
Oh,
because
from all that poker playing.
no. I think from not having any intrinsic motivation to studying my whole life. And again, I came in with actually second semester sophomore standing from AP credits and other things.
Mm-hmm.
Again, very intense high school experience made college a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
But I basically had satisfied all my graduation requirements. And so I was starting to take grad classes.
Mm.
And it made me realize undergrad was like training wheels. It was an extension of high school.
Yeah.
Closer to high school than let's say real life
Mm-mm.
or professional working life. Grad school was crazy. Oh my god, you had no training wheels, no guardrails, no guidance, just like you versus the world.
Yeah.
And I was 20 turning 21. Most people were like mid 20s. That's a big difference, like 25, 26, let's say, compared to 20, 21.
Yeah.
And so I started taking grad classes and I struggled hard.
I don't think you're officially allowed to take grad school classes in Korea.
As
I've
an undergrad?
never heard of that. Yeah.
What if you take all the undergrad classes there are to take?
Just take more undergrad
Different
classes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I started signing up for in-major grad classes. And again, I just hit a wall. I didn't have the study habits. I didn't have the motivation. And so anyway, I don't know if I want to talk about this now or after you go, but probably led to maybe one of the biggest decisions I made, which was, I graduated a year early after my junior year. So I just decided like, hey, I'm done with school. I don't need to take more. I don't want to take grad classes. I think this is the not first time, maybe second time. I think I really disappointed my dad because he wanted me to go on to grad school, get a PhD, all that.
Oh,
And so,
really?
yeah, but I remember actually, I applied to one grad school just to appease my dad. There was a requirement you had to take whatever the grad version of, let's say, the SATs. I did zero prep, walked into this thing. I thought I would do great. Turns out you need to study for the test. Bombed completely. So I basically did not obviously get into that grad school I applied to. And yeah, I graduated early mostly because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't feel motivated. I didn't want to do another year of school. In hindsight, this is something I really regret. Yeah. So I think senior year in college is when you really, you can drink in the open. And I think you're now more confident. Maybe you have more spending money, did jobs in the summer, whatever. And it's a time where I think very similar to what I was saying as like a second semester senior in high school, when you just kind of enjoy more than anything else.
Yeah.
And this chapter of your life is coming to an end. But I didn't get to do that. I didn't have, I graduated without my peers I went into. And yeah, I'll talk maybe more about what should have been my senior year. Maybe I won't talk about it. But yeah, I just missed out on a lot of life. Let's say all the enjoyable parts of college, I kind of missed out on. And yeah, I really regret graduating a year early. But in my mind, again, I didn't know what classes to take. I knew it was expensive. I didn't want my parents to have to spend another
that's
money.
a big part.
Save again. We'll talk about this more in our future episode. But yeah, private college in the U.S. is crazy expensive. And so yeah, I think all those things factor in just me deciding kind of like, I don't know what else to do, so I'm just going to graduate. But I didn't have a job lined up, like, because I wasn't expecting to graduate. So I wasn't even applying for jobs. It was just like kind of a very in the moment. The reason I did it actually was I was supposed to be thinking about classes for my senior year, first semester. And I literally did not know what classes to take. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to graduate. I don't know. I don't want to come back to school. No reason to. So, yeah.
For me, I don't think it was very special. I decided not to go to 군대 in college and rather do it after my grad school studies.
Oh.
So I made a choice there. So I wasn't going to 군대.
Yeah.
And then the third year is when your 복학생s, the people who are coming from 군대, starts taking classes with you. So that there was like this weird dynamic where like these are
It is really weird.
very 선배s are taking the same classes together. I've never met these people.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Yeah.
But they know all my other 선배s.
Yeah,
It's kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
that kind of weird dynamic.
And they're much older.
They're much
3
older.
years older.
Yeah.
2 years?
Or in some cases, if they went there earlier or like later, they're a lot more older. Anyways. And then this is a time where your major, like the classes related to your major becomes more serious. So it's like much more study focused than your freshman in sophomore year.
Yeah.
So a lot of like studying in the 과방, the classroom.
Yeah.
The major room.
Yeah. Okay.
And then for me personally, I was so the third year is when you can officially transfer to a different major.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have to wait that long.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when I started thinking about maybe I should transfer to architecture. So I was taking like architecture major classes, which was fun. And then this is kind of similar to like your freshman experience where you went to like the head of whatever class.
Oh, yeah. Different department.
Yeah, so I met like this architecture major professor and said like, oh, I'm interested in like transferring to architecture. And yeah, that guy was like also very cynical and like, oh, you think architecture is very fun? Like you should consider.
You think
like,
anyone can transfer to architecture?
Like, you should consider this and this, and you know that it doesn't pay that much and like this much of work, blah blah blah. So I ended up like not actually transferring, but like going to grad school as an architecture major, which I think was a better decision now that I think about it.
Oh, than transferring and trying to do an undergrad major in. I see. Architecture majors at my school were notorious for always being in the architecture like room, just sketching, like late nights.
Exactly.
Like, just working incredibly hard.
Yeah.
I always felt bad for them. Yeah. I was playing basketball. They're like, "Hey, where were you?" Oh, I was in lab.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what do you call it? Is it lab?
Studio.
I was in studio.
Yeah.
Again, all night, all weekend.
For what? Now that I think about it. Anyways, that was I don't think I have particularly interesting memories of my junior year that much. It's just a lot of studying. Yeah.
It's so interesting, right? I think both of us have that similar like freshman year, especially maybe sophomore year. A lot of memories, a lot of change. But then by junior year, it's kind of like you're settled.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that different. You're used to it.
Yeah. And then my senior
how about
year,
senior year for you?
which you didn't have.
Yeah, I didn't really. Yeah.
I think it was just an extension of junior year.
Yeah.
Although I think the load of studies was lifted off a lot because I think intentionally you have to start applying to jobs.
Oh.
So to allocate more energy and time for that, I think it's specifically structured, designed that way.
Yeah.
So not a lot of studies. You have a lot of time in your hands.
Really?
Yeah, where you can do things. But for me, I was applying to grad schools instead of applying to jobs.
Yeah.
So it was a good time to do that.
Ah.
What else other than that?
Sorry, when did you make that decision? I'm going to go to grad school. I'm not going to go to a job.
Oh, when I decided not to transfer.
Oh, so junior year.
Yeah.
You kind of decided that early. Interesting.
Oh, and then there's like, then there's this in my grad school, there was a summer program for people specifically like me to do like a tryout.
Yeah.
There was a 6-week court, like camp, like a, not a camp.
Internship type thing?
No, like
No?
like a very compressed like semester thing that you can do a tryout.
Okay.
It was called like career discovery or something. It was like my grad school's program where like college students could apply and do a 6-week challenge thing.
Got it.
That simulates
a grad school life? Oh,
one
okay,
semester of that. So that was very helpful and determining as well.
Sorry, it made you not want to do grad school in that major?
No, it made me wanted to do it. But anyways, I did 6 weeks of that, which was very fun.
Cool.
But it was a very lightweight of studio experience in hindsight. It's like the
they didn't want to scare you off. Exactly.
I was like, oh, this is actually really fun.
Similarly, my school, they always say somehow every year, miraculously, the weekend they invite incoming freshmen who are deciding whether they want to go or not.
Yeah.
That weekend has the best weather all year. It's just like a miracle every year.
Yeah.
Lures them in. Let's see. My senior year, what would have been, I think, I will say, again, for the record, I never dated at all in undergrad after breaking up with my freshman girlfriend from my high school.
That picture's a lot of your
Yeah, I was just kind
your
of depressed
life.
and lonely. Sorry, not lonely. I really had good friends and good community, but never dated, nothing romantic. And then, anyway, so I felt like that's something, I wish I had dated more in general in my life, but college is that time where you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And that's like a lot of different influences, but whatever. And I think the one thing I'll say is when I graduated early, I remember telling my parents like, hey, I'm saving you guys a lot of money. I just want to decompress for a year. I feel like I'm burnt out. I don't know what to do. Of course, my parents were like, whatever, sure, just come home.
Yeah.
And like in hindsight, 2 weeks into summer after graduating, I was wasting my life. I was playing a lot of World of Warcraft, just like trying to hang out with hometown friends, get reconnected with them.
Sounds like a life.
No, 2 weeks into summer, my dad was like, son, you need to get off your butt and get a job.
So much like, 그냥, you should have just like let him be.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, I did start applying, I got a job and eventually started working. But yeah.
This is 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
You could have had it for 6 months at least.
Well, I wish he gave me the summer at least, maybe 2 months to just waste my life in a sense, waste my time.
Decompress.
But that's not, I think my dad very patiently waited 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
No, in hindsight, I'm honestly very grateful because I think maybe this is the bad of it, but I needed that pushing and structure and like, I needed someone else to give me motivation to do anything in my life. This is why like I couldn't find any self-drive at all. So anyway, yeah, that's how I started working, and I guess the rest of my life is for another time. But yeah, that's I have to say too, I had a lot of FOMO, so fear of missing out. Two things I'll share. One, my senior year, what would have been my senior year, the hometown team won the Super Bowl, and like I don't know, it was a huge football region, and so their hometown team winning the Super Bowl, huge deal. I had so much like FOMO from my friends, like they were out partying, celebrating, burning cars, like burning sofas, just like rioting, like. They said everyone went out in my friend's pickup truck and just like cruised around the downtown area. I was just like, why am I not there? That's so cool. And so it might seem silly, and it's not necessarily celebrating that event.
Yeah.
But that memory with your friends, that like these are all my friends I should be there with.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was just like off in another state, just working,
Yeah.
like all by myself, super lonely.
Yeah.
And I guess I should, I don't know, we can't not mention college in the US at that time without at least mentioning Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It was first launched, I guess, my sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this just made college so much more enjoyable, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Just like seeing, it let you keep in touch with your friends from high school, but just seeing photos and like lurking and like looking at people's photos and
Mm-hmm.
just like it just made the experience. It was such a deep integral part of college at that point
Mm-hmm.
that I have to at least mention it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously now it's become a huge thing, but yeah, anyway.
In Korea, we had Cyber World at the time.
Cyworld in
Yeah.
college, yeah.
Yeah. It was a big thing.
So yeah, I think that's college for me.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to talk about graduation, June? Like, do you wear a cap and gown? Do you throw the hat when you graduate?
Yeah, but I actually missed my graduation because my grad school started earlier.
Oh,
Yeah, so I had to.
oh, that's so
Or like
interesting.
they made the international students go through like a
Yes,
language
yeah,
thing
yeah, yeah.
before actually semester starting. So I had to miss my graduation.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
I do think what jumps to my mind is that the Korean school calendar year and the American school calendar year don't align at all.
Yeah.
So it's always like either you leave early or start late, or there's like a weird independent like intermediary time where
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
You have to like anyway that one semester that doesn't match. You have to
Yeah.
somehow. Yeah.
Okay. Are there times in college where like you typically travel home, let's say in Korea? Because in the US, this is generally Thanksgiving. People tend to try to travel home if they can.
Yeah. 설날 or
Oh,
추석.
추석. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Spring break, on the other hand,
Mhm.
I don't know if there's a equivalent in Korea.
There's no spring break.
There's winter break too, sorry, to be clear. And winter break, I think, are where you try to go home and spend time with your family and reconnect with your hometown friends
Yeah.
who are also all back from college. And then spring break is where you like go party with your college
Oh, I
friends.
know that's that culture of spring break. We don't have it in college.
All in all, I think very different, I would have to say. It sounds
Yeah.
very different.
It sounds very different.
I don't know. I'm kind of envious of a lot of the things I'm hearing that Korean colleges provided.
Really?
Just like, again, a lot of the structured socialization, let's say, right? And very close bonding between you and your major, your peers, your upperclassmen,
Yeah.
your lowerclassmen.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. And again, I think that could exist in the US. It's more organic and therefore it's less, I think, like widespread. Yeah.
I'm envious of like the autonomy and freedom.
For sure, yeah.
Although like college students in Korea have that too a little bit, but it just feels like you're already a grown up that you have to make your like very serious life decisions. Compared to in Korea, you are technically a grown up, but it feels more like an extension of high school.
Yeah.
At least for me, with a little bit of like freedom in like your outside of school life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say freshman year feels like that in between for me, but then starting sophomore year, even though you can't drink, even though whatever, you're still only 19, 20.
Yeah.
That's when it really did feel like, oh, like I'm independent. I may never live at home again.
Yeah.
I'm my own person. And yeah, I'm starting my adult life. It did kind of feel that way.
Yeah.
Of course, more so when you graduate, getting a job, whatever. But yeah, I think for me, that was the shifting. It shifted a bit in sophomore year. In the moment, it wasn't like a stark transition, but just in hindsight, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
College social life. College part 1. It was fun. I had a good time. All right, that's it for this week. As always, if you'd like to support our show, please consider sharing us with a friend that you think might enjoy our content. Beyond that, if you want to support us financially, you can follow us or you can support us on Patreon. With the Patreon subscription, you get access to our Discord where you can talk with other listeners, discuss the latest episode, and propose future episode topics.
Since the last episode, we have 3 more new Patreons, starting from Fabiola.
Thank you, Fabiola.
And then Chungmin. Thank you, Chungmin.
Thank you, Jungmin.
And then Alicia.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to all our subscribers and supporters,
Right.
but especially the new ones. All right,
That's
that's
a
it
wrap.
for this week. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. All right. Yeah. Since the last episode, we have 3 more Patreons, right? No? 1, 2, 3.
I trust you.
Oh, 1 just edited. Okay. From the last episode, we have 3 more members and 1 edit.
We don't want to talk about the edit.
Okay. From the last episode, we have now 4 more Patreon members.
Wait, just 3. Struggle plus.